Good afternoon and welcome to Nutmeg Sports on the AJ Network. Frank Granito and Kevin Coleman in studio this afternoon. It is Tuesday, October 24th, and the FCX postseason feels just about complete now, Kevin.
It does, and it went by way too fast, it felt like. And that's what always happens in the fall. It seems like you get to that first week of September, that last week of August, really getting going in the fall season. And next thing you know, we're here. It's mid to late October, and you're already, getting ready for the playoffs. So this fall season has flown by, and we've been lucky enough to see some phenomenal games here throughout the FCX fall season.
Late October, it's 75 degrees outside, and there's a strong chance of thunderstorms later this afternoon. Pretty much what we expected with the summer coming to an end.
Well, at least we're not in LA for game one. It's going to be over 100 degrees between the Dodgers and the Astros. Imagine being at Dodger Stadium tonight.
Too soon, man. Too soon, dude.
Too soon?
Too soon. We're baseball. Come on, man. No, look, we've got a big show coming up. We've got the boys soccer playoffs are completely set. We know the matchups. We're going to break that down later on. We've got a very cool piece out of Stratford from the SWC Conference Cross Country Championships. They've got a cool story going on there. But first, we're going to start with girls volleyball. We were at Fairfield Ward last night. Kev, entering action Monday afternoon, 12 teams were still eligible for the FCX postseason. When we woke up this morning, we were down to 9. Fairfield Ward was one of those schools that was still sitting on the bubble with the potential to get in. They hurt themselves last week going 0-3, and it left them in a big hole needing help. Now they take on their rival, Fairfield Ludlow, who they've only beaten once since the schools broke up. The story was not much different last night. It was an incredible night at Ward High School, the Dig Pink night, both schools coming together for their charitable donations and the fundraising effort. But in the end, the Falcons delivering the final blow. They take this one 3-1, winning the final 3 sets. A lot of frustration, probably a lot of regret in that Ward locker room when you look at the last week and a half now for this team.
Yeah, it's too bad because there's a lot of talent in this team, Frank. You look at the Mustangs, it starts with Libby McKenna, and you look throughout this roster, you got Claire Christensen, who I thought had a nice game last night at times. You got Olivia Parisi, all these seniors. It was senior night too, and that's, I think, another thing that really stings when they woke up this morning is that not only did we lose to our rival, but we lost on senior night, and that's something they're going to think about, throughout their careers and when they move on to the next level. It's unfortunate, but what a performance by Ludlow. Going down that first set, you really thought, okay, Ward's at home, they have momentum on their side. Maybe they'll take, game number 2 and maybe go for the sweep. That wasn't the case. Ludlow came in that second set and really, took over the gym there, really silenced the crowd, and I thought that was the biggest part of that game was when they tied it up at 1-1, then took the third set. That changed everything. That final fourth set that they won to win it 3-1, back and forth, then they really got comfortable with that lead. And listen, Kate Steensma, she stole the show last night. What a performance she put on in those final 2 sets for the Falcons.
Kate Steensma played absolutely out of her mind down the stretch. I was really impressed with Lily Trom and Jackie Soderland. The two were just a force to be reckoned with and kept Libby McKenna at bay. We saw McKenna before that fourth set talking with the coaching staff. She didn't know what to do, Kev. She was just rattled, confused, unsure of how she was supposed to be playing at the net. They took her out of her element, made her uncomfortable, and it just trickled down through the rest of the Mustangs. Let's take a look at the highlights from last night. We'll continue to break it down after this. Ludlow 3-1 over Ward.
Perfectly executed, and now Parisi serves for the set. Got it! And it's 1-0 Mustangs.
Ludlow's got to take care of business now. Put the second game away.
Trom getting ready to serve.
Nice job by Trom.
Still alive, and now the Mustangs need to convert. Christensen towards the back line. Going up, are they going to say Doherty touched the net? Yep. And that's the way set 2 ends. We're tied at 1. Amanda Stram serving for the set. Here's Steensma again. Got it! It's 2-1 Falcons. 24-22 it is match point. Amanda Schramm serving for the Falcons. They're coming to McKenna. And now they're going with Steensma for the win, and she got it! The Falcons come across town into Ward's gym, and they take down the Mustangs.
Very fitting for Kate Steensma to get the last point. One thing that stood out for me, Kev, the inability of Fairfield Ward to get consecutive points. They ran into a lot of trouble with their serving game again, and it proved costly because there was no point in time where they could seize momentum. They had points that were huge transitions. They got the crowd alive for a second, and then it was just given right back with a deflating fault on a serve.
Well, you look at game 2 and game 3, they were up by 4 points, and Ludlow was able to come back. And that was the big thing I thought, too, for Ludlow, is the ability to climb all the way back after being down by several points and tie the game up. Maybe it was around 14-10 in game 2 and game 3 that Ward was up and looked like they were going to be able to put away the Falcons, extend their lead. What did Ludlow do? They came all the way back, tied it up, even took the lead, and were able to take game 2 and game 3. And again, the serving was horrible at times last night, I thought, for Ward, and that's been their biggest struggle this year. They gave away points, and you got to credit the Falcons for using that to their advantage and getting back those points and ultimately winning the game.
It seems like a harsh word saying horrible, but there is no other way around
No,
it.
there isn't.
That was the harsh reality. Last night they could not give themselves any type of chance off the service line. You could see the emotion from both sides in that game. The emotion carried over into the postgame. We caught up with the captain, Kate Steensma. Let's hear what she had to say after the Falcons' big win.
Hey, let's start by saying the FCAC tour in the fall. You told us we had to be here on this night. It was going to be a special night. It really was. Let's talk a little bit about the emotion surrounding this game first. What does this night mean to you and the rest of your teammates?
It means so much. It's my last Ward game as a senior, and it's always such a fun night. It's for a great cause. It's our friends, our crosstown rivals, and it feels amazing to win.
There's obviously a lot of unity between both these squads, especially when it comes to this cause, but as soon as that match started, there was no love lost. You guys lose that first set, but you came back flying. What was the message from Coach Skelton after set number 1?
We had to get our momentum back. We had to get fired up and energetic and go back to the basics, and that's how we won.
You were incredible offensively all night. They were setting you up on the outside, but what stood out to me was the play of Soderlund and Traum in the middle. So strong defensively, and they really kept McKenna at bay. What can you say about their progression this year?
It's amazing. Lily started a setter halfway through the season, and she has done an amazing job. She's the reason that we can have such a strong offense, and Jackie has gotten so many amazing blocks. She was shutting down the offensive Ward this night, and it was amazing.
Not quite your senior night, but they honor you guys before. What does it mean to you to get a win against Ward one more time your senior year?
It felt amazing. It's something I'm going to remember forever.
Kate, great job tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations. We'll see you soon. Alongside Kate Steensma, we send it back up now to Kevin Coleman.
Great job by Kate. Great job by the Falcons. We're going to take a quick break on Nutmeg Sports. When we get back, we're going to look at the updated volleyball standings and tell you what you need to keep an eye on now over the final 3 days of the regular season. That's coming up next on Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network.
New Canaan Foreign Car. Yes, New Canaan Foreign Car has been servicing all makes of foreign cars for over 50 years. We also buy, sell, and consign cars too. We can help you with all your automotive needs from service to sales. Call us at 203-966-2681.
At Portofino Restaurant and Wine Bar in Bethel, fresh and simple food is our concept. Owned and operated by brothers Rocco and Louie, Portofino has a distinct and diverse food and drink menu. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Come join us for live local music on Tuesdays and Sundays, Wednesday nights for mouthwatering prime rib, and every Thursday night is ladies' night. Planning a party? All our catering menus are personalized to suit your event and your budget. Join us at the Dolan Plaza, 213 Greenwood Ave, Bethel, and call us at 203-797-8131. Like us on Facebook.
Welcome back to Nutmeg Sports. Frank Granito alongside Kevin Coleman. We're going to throw the girls' volleyball standings up on the screen for you now, Kevin. We said we started with 12 teams, down to 9 after yesterday. You see you've got New Canaan there in that 8th spot. Stanford coming down in 9th right now. Stanford holds the tiebreaker, Kev, over New Canaan, over West Hill, over Staples. So they are very much in the mix. This is where it gets interesting now. All right? So Stanford plays Wilton and Trinity Catholic the rest of this week. I think we both expect they win those games with relative ease.
Right.
New Canaan plays Staples on Wednesday, 5:30. We'll be at New Canaan High for that game. On Wednesday, West Hill is playing Ridgefield. Very, very tough matchup for the Vikings. Then West Hill plays New Canaan on Friday, while Staples is playing St. Joe's. Are you able to keep up here now?
All right, I took a deep breath. I think I'm ready. That game Friday is probably the biggest game of the week for those two teams.
Essentially, there's a very strong possibility one of these teams is most likely going 0-2. Possibly two of them are going 0-2. So it's kind of bizarre. Just the whole way it's going to work out here, shake down.
At the same time, that's what makes it fun.
Too,
because you look at tightly races like this, Stanford sitting on the outside right now, playing two teams that are beatable at the end of the week. Imagine that. They're sitting outside looking in right now. They go 2-0. Say New Canaan goes 0-2. They drop back. What if Stanford's able to sneak in?
I fully expect Stanford's going to sneak in. I owe you a correction. West Hill owns the tiebreaker over Stanford, so excuse me for that one. But Staples, if they beat New Canaan Wednesday, they are in. The Rams need to win, and then they will need a Staples loss against St. Joe's. West Hill needs another win, but I don't know if it's coming against Ridgefield, who's battling right. The only team without anything to play for at this moment in time is St. Joe's. They have locked up the number 1 seed. West Hill against Ridgefield. Ridgefield wants the 2nd spot.
Yeah.
You know, they're still battling it out with Greenwich right now. So I stand by this next statement. I think that girls volleyball in the FCAC in this conference right now is the best sport in the conference. I think it is the most competitive sport, the most balanced sport, the most wide open sport. And when it is played well, which 90% of the time, by 90 to 95% of these teams it is, look at what we had last night. You're talking about a Fairfield-Ludlow team that, how are they 4-10?
Yeah, exactly.
How are they 4-10? An award team that was still in playoff contention, and I mean, it was 3-1. It never felt like a 3-1 game. The defense was phenomenal on both sides. It's been so much fun the past 2 years watching the way this conference has developed its depth and how wide open it's become.
Well, that's just that tournament that's coming up in a couple days for girls volleyball. It's going to be so much fun. We saw it last year, and being able to really get my first taste of it last year, and being a part of that FCAC final between McMahon and Stanford, that game alone really showed me how competitive this entire conference is for girls volleyball. Now really get to see the race just to get in, Frank. This week, technically for some teams, is playoffs already. Tomorrow is going to have that playoff feel for New Canaan because they know that they can't lose.
It is. New Canaan has got to find a way to win one of these two games down the stretch here, if not both. the Rams deserve a lot of credit. You look at the way this program has been down for a little while here now. New coach in place this season, and they have been phenomenal. They won 7 games in a row at one point in time leading up to this week before falling against Stanford. So I think the Rams are going to at least keep it competitive. I expect them to play very, very well. I think you could even see a good contingent out supporting them. It could be a fun environment at New Canaan High on Wednesday. We will have plenty more volleyball on Wednesday, and we'll, of course, get you ready tomorrow on Nutmeg Sports before that match, so you are good to go.
Is the bomb squad coming out tomorrow night?
I have no idea. I've unfortunately separated myself. The time is come and gone. I was a younger man, much more hair back then. It was a simpler time. I want to shift gears here for a moment. We're going to go outside the FCAC, Kev, take a look at the Southwest Conference Championship meet, which took place last week at Bethel High. Ryan Duffy is the name we're focusing on here. The senior from Stratford High was in a bit of an unusual situation on the course, running through the race, and he noticed a Massac runner face down. I know that there are many out there who might have thought someone else can take care of this. I got a race to finish here, thinking about winning. Better time. No. Ryan left the course, sought help, brought him back, and then went on to finish the race after he saw that the Massac runner was attended to. It was really an incredible feat. Ryan was honored by the mayor earlier this week. Let's take a look at that. Our own Melvin Mason of the Stratford Star caught up with Ryan.
Ryan Duffy, senior Stratford High School, and the member of the cross-country team. So I saw tonight you were honored tonight at the Board of Ed meeting because you did something pretty significant. If you could, tell me a little bit more about what you did here and when.
Last Wednesday at our SWC race at Bethel High, there was a down runner along the path, and it was unfortunately out of sight, so no one could really see him.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw him down, and he was unfortunately face down, and I ran over to him and I was like, "Hey, bud, like, what's up?" Because I was concerned, and then I didn't get a response, and it was just concerning because I didn't hear him reply back. So then I ran back up the path to signal for help and signal for trainers, and then once I got a trainer, I just made sure the trainer knew where to go and guided the trainer to the runner, and then after that I just continued my race.
Okay, wow. So that's one heck of an experience, Ryan. You getting a chance to run out there and you end up helping the runner out, potentially saving his life. I guess, did you ever think that would ever happen to you at a race?
Not really. I hope it would never happen to anyone during a race, but I'm just glad I was able to help him out during that time.
Okay. So now how do you feel tonight, knowing all this? Have you had a chance to speak with the gentleman you helped out?
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to speak with the runner from Massac, but I heard the coach was very thankful, and I'm just happy I was able to help him out during that time.
What were you thinking during that whole time?
Just get him help as fast as you could.
Just get help as fast as you could. Okay, yeah. So I guess was there a little bit of adrenaline pumping here? Or, I mean, I imagine your adrenaline's already pumping for race, but now it's a different pressure altogether.
Yeah, I just wanted to get him help as fast as I could and just get him help. Yeah. Okay,
so I take it you're very relieved about everything. In fact, he's okay now.
Yeah, definitely.
Being honored tonight here at the Board of Ed, what does that say? Seeing your coach, seeing your teammates here. To kind of be here for you and see you get honored by the Board of Ed.
It's just truly an honor to see them all here tonight and just love my guys and love my team and just very thankful for them to show. And I know any one of my teammates would have done the same thing.
All right then. So so obviously a different thing here. By the way, it's a completely different aside, but where'd you finish in the race?
Doesn't matter, but it was. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, obviously. Yeah, obviously the more important thing is the fact that he's okay.
Yeah.
All right, then. Well, hey, listen, Ryan, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to me today. I really appreciate that.
Thank you for your time.
All right, good day.
Awesome job, Ryan, and thanks again to Melvin Mason for getting that. Just a really cool story and a great showing of sportsmanship there from the senior from Stratford. We are going to take another break. When we get back, it is every Kevin's dream. We're breaking down the boys soccer tournament. The seedings are in place. The matchups are set. Kev's got all 4 of them for you when we get back after this.
We know it's your busy season, and that's why Walter Stewart's Market is here to make things easy by offering the best of autumn under one roof. Walter Stewart's Market is your local one-stop fall shop. There are so many seasonal flavors to savor, and Stewart's has them all, from Blue Jay Orchard's local cider donuts to Vermont Farmstead cheddar and all of your favorite varieties of local apples and pears. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and find us at stewartsmarket.com.
Want a new experience in car buying? No aggravation, no confrontation, just answers to all your questions. Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Car buying the way you want it to be. With one of the largest selections of new 2- and 4-door Jeep Wranglers available, we are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Located in Fairfield, Connecticut, we're easy to get to. Just 2.5 miles off the Merritt Parkway, exit 44 via Route 58 South. Save thousands right now during the Jeep Celebration event and Ram Power Days. Now through October 31st.
At Black Horse Garage, we fulfill all your sports car needs. We specialize in manufacturer-recommended service and aftermarket high-performance parts and installation. We have one of the nation's top storage facilities and offer a high-end collision department that understands your need for detail. Visit blackhorsegarage.com for more.
The Kitchen Center offers quality cabinetry and affordable pricing. Visit our showroom for a free consultation with our professional design staff. For all your other home improvement needs, visit Northeast Building Supply, our full-service lumberyard and window showroom. The Kitchen Center, a division of Northeast Building Supply, 1470 Barnum Avenue, Bridgeport.
Dr. Stephen Molinaro and Peter Healy of Family Practice Dentistry and Laser Dental Care have served Ridgefield for over 22 years. Experienced staff offer gentle drillless techniques, preventative care, and cosmetic procedures in a relaxed environment. Grateful for the community's trust and support through the years, new patients and their families are welcome. Call today. Dr. Stephen.
We're back on Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network. The FCIAC quarterfinal matches for boys soccer kick off on Thursday afternoon. Kev, looking at this bracket right now, there isn't a matchup that doesn't jump off the table that is very interesting. Let's start number 1 Ridgefield, number 8 Danbury. A little bit of a rivalry here. You're talking about a Danbury team that's got a lot of postseason experience going back to last season.
This is a dangerous game for the number 1 seed Ridgefield. And just the tournament itself, Frank, seedings, throw them out. I don't care what seed you are. All 8 teams can go home and take the crown this year. And that has to make it so much fun. And it's going to make every game much more dramatic, much more enticing to watch. This game between the 1 and 8, there is that rivalry there. I was a part of it. These two teams don't like each other. When you're on the field, there's a lot of talking. There's a lot of dirty plays between both sides. These two teams don't like each other. The fact that it's at Tiger Hollow too adds a little more attention too for Danbury. They're going to go to Tiger Hollow, not too far of a drive. This is a dangerous game for Ridgefield.
It's interesting for me because you look at the importance of finishing in the top 4. You get that home game. For Ridgefield and Danbury, they are very interesting schools that no one wants to travel there. Sorry, Kevin. I love you. I love coming to visit you. Nobody, if you are not from Ridgefield or Danbury, that is like going to the Seattle of the FCIAC. It almost is canceled out now at the fact that Ridgefield is just welcoming Danbury, who has the easiest trip there out of all the schools.
And I tell you what, Frank, Danbury has played very well at Tiger Hollow, believe it or not. During my time, they beat us both times at home. This is a very good Danbury team that does have past success at Tiger Hollow. Ridgefield, though, they scare me a little bit going into this playoff tournament. Yes, they had a terrific regular season after starting 0-2. The type of game that they play is the dunk and chase. I don't like it. Yes, they play out wide. They have JT Ciano, who by far one of the best players in the conference. But the fact that they play over the top too much for one lonely striker, teams buy into that once they go into the tournament. Danbury knows what's coming. They're going to pack in that back 4. Teams know what to expect now from Ridgefield. Their back 4 scares me a little bit. They're a little vulnerable on the outside backs. Their keeper has been wonderful this year. Ridgefield scares me. This is the one game that you do not want to play again. It's Danbury. Number 8 seed, they're going to come in extra motivated here. This is a dangerous, dangerous game for Ridgefield. They have to be very careful at home.
Danbury team that has found their stride in the second half of the season as well. And we mentioned again, they were FCX semifinalists last year, state finalists, depending on how you want to go about the CIAC rulings. Number 2, number 7, Greenwich gets Staples, another meeting of between rivals here. This is another great match, especially on paper.
Oh, this is another exciting matchup. And for Staples, this has been a really nice bounce back year. you go through the last maybe 10 to 15 years, how successful this boys soccer program has been at Staples High School. It's been outstanding. Last couple years, they took a little bit of a slide, just waiting for those younger players to really develop and come up into that program. And here they are now, sitting at the number 7 seed, finish the season 8-4-4, taking on a Greenwich team at Greenwich. This is another dangerous game for a number 2 seed like Greenwich, having Staples come in as a rival. Staples is going into this game, I really liked how they played down the stretch. Greenwich, though, another nice year after losing, 20 seniors to graduation last year after being co-champions with Trumbull. This is another dangerous game for a seed like number 2, hosting a number 7 like Staples. This is going to be a fun matchup between these two rivals.
Does the fact that Staples beat Greenwich earlier in the year 1-0 play any kind of a role in this game? Does it give an advantage to one side or the other?
I don't think it gives an advantage. I think that's certainly in the back of Greenwich's mind, and maybe that gives Staples a little bit of confidence going into this game, knowing that their first round game is not only on the road, but it's at a number 2 seed like Greenwich. But still, the fact that Staples is able to beat Greenwich this year at home at Staples uses their home field to their advantage. They play on a grass surface, Frank.
No, Staples won at home.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So
We're
they
on the same
use
page.
that as their
Staples
advantage.
won at
Now
home.
they go to Greenwich where it's on turf. This could play to Greenwich's advantage here. So I do like Greenwich in this game. I think they have tons of talent going all the way through their starting 11, even to their bench. But again, this is a very good Staples team with some good players who have played through the academy level, play all the way through all season long.
3-6, Stanford hosts Norwalk. This is a game we just saw about 2 weeks ago at Stanford High, and the Black Knights getting the victory late on a 77th minute goal, I want to say. But this is a Norwalk team I think kind of got caught napping in that game. They were underestimating a Stanford team who has made a big leap in the standings now. I'm high on the Bears this year and in this postseason. I like them in this game, but what's the key to victory for both sides?
I think for Stanford, they have to like that they're at home, and they realized that not too long ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, they were able to beat Norwalk in the same position, 2-1 on a late goal. For Coach Lawton, down the stretch, I've been able to catch Norwalk these last week or so. They lost to Richfield at Norwalk, and in that game, they created a lot of chances. This is a team with Sebastian Echeverry up front, who him alone can create chances by himself, but it's the outside wings. It's Freddie Rosales who sends in those set pieces into the 18, and this is a very talented Norwalk team. They need to score early. If they want to win this game, set the tone early, go up early on Stanford. Stanford's had a difficult time being down early. Stanford, though, has the advantage because they're at home. They were able to beat Norwalk just about 2 weeks ago, 2-1. This is a tightly contested game, but I like Stanford in this one.
All right, last game, and it's the game we will be covering. 7 o'clock, Thursday night. Trumbull, number 5, visiting number 4, Fairfield Ludlow. The Falcons got the best of the Eagles 3-0 at McDougal. That was over a month ago, Kev. What has changed for both these teams since then?
Well, I like Ludlow, coached by Kevin O'Hara. This is a very technically sound team. They possess. They're able to switch the field when needed to. They slow the pace of the game down a little bit. They have good center midfielders. They have a scoring threat up top, but it's the back 4 that I've really liked this year. It's been very tightly contested, and they've created some chances up top, but this back 4 has been very good this year, I thought. Sitting at the number 4 seed, another team that really could have deserved to be number 1 this year. Just a couple of, they look at 6 draws this year, Frank. That really hurt them this year. Ludlow, I like their chances. Trumbull, a very scary team that was sitting at number 5. The thing about their scoring threats up front, that's been their key this year. Back 4, a little vulnerable, I think. They've been... At times, the outside backs have let those wings come in a little too much inside the 18, letting them create chances. 4 losses on the year, 2 draws. This is another good game that we're going to see tomorrow, Frank, or Thursday, excuse me. It's tough to pick this one, but I like Ludlow only because they have that playoff experience. Kevin O'Hara is able to get his team up for a game like this. I like Ludlow, but at the same time, Trumbull has a lot of individual talent on their team that are able to take over games. But Ludlow is a complete team. They know how to play with each other, all 11.
You mentioned playoff experience. We'd be remiss not to say that's a difficult argument to make against Trumbull. I know they lose a lot to graduation, but these were guys who sat there and watched what it took last year to win an FCX championship. Those games all kick off on Thursday. We'll have the girls soccer quarterfinals for you on Friday. We'll have more on that as their standings break out. Kev, great job today. We're back again tomorrow. We'll be joined by Anthony Howard, manager of the Danbury Soccer Club. We'll hear what he is thinking heading into that matchup against number 1, and we got plenty more. So Kevin Coleman, I'm Frank Granito. Watching Nutmeg Sports only on the HAN Network.